Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Terrence Ray back at you with another stock market update. We had a we had a real banger today. The market opened up. First of all, let's start off with yesterday. As the market closed or after the market, we had earnings for NVDA. NVIDIA had earnings, and with those earnings, the market. Let's pull up NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA basically opened up this morning and made it all the way up to a high of 196 even. And it closed the day out at 180.64 when the bell rung. That is and it had a low of 179.85. So let's just say 196 to 180. That's a $16 move from high to low. That's crazy. That's bananas. You probably could look at this. I don't know if we'll see something like that. All probably, I'm looking back at the chart. Look something similar to that on look like on what is that? February 27th, 2025. So we have like maybe which doesn't happen. I see 1 or 2 days like that. So that doesn't generally happen. Now, as the video went up though, the whole market kind of went with it. So, the S&P 500 was up, the NASDAQ was up, and everything else was up as well. And then when we had that turn, now I don't know what caused that turn, to be honest with you. I don't care, to be honest. What I will say going forward, let's look at some levels. That's what we, that this is what I do best. We're going to look at some levels right here. Now, this candlestick right here, matter of fact, I'm going to remove all of these drawings. I can put them back on there. This candlestick right here back on, what is that, November 7th. This was a low of 178.91. You can see that the market came right here. We got a wick, went back up. We got a wick right here, went back up. This is today. Now, if the market tomorrow is Friday, it opens up. I don't know where to open up at, but if it takes out this low, look out below. If it takes this low out right here, and I'll go ahead and put like a something on here, make it easier on the chart. If this level gets taken out right here tomorrow, then I think that the whole marketplace is going to go with NVIDIA. If NVIDIA took the whole marketplace up, then it'll take the whole marketplace down. We get a break right there. Your next stop will be somewhere down here around, let's call it maybe 170, probably 168, somewhere in there. And if I put my Fibonacci extension back on, we'll get right to, it'll give us an exact area of where right around 168. Now, I do have a put that I have purchased in NVIDIA right at 167.5. I'm about 8 days out, and that'll put me right there where that Fibonacci extension is. So we'll see. Not only one of the things that I show you guys is a lot of times you'll hear people, especially on TV, those people will come on and they'll talk about what they think, but you don't know what trade they put on, anything like that. I'm telling you where I think it's gonna go, and I got a little bit of money behind it. Not a lot, just a tidbit, but I got a little bit behind it. So now I wouldn't advise anybody to follow me into that trade. That isn't a risky trade. So I don't put those trades out like when on the channel. I will show you a trade, a defined risk trade, more safe, high probability trade that we'll go over right now. And that's an SMR. Let's pull up SMR. And then that's New Scale Power Corp. Now, New Scale Power Corp, you can see that looking at this chart, that it's already down. Basically, it's been beat up. Like if you're looking at it, you can see it's down here right around, actually closed the day out at 1870. If you look up to the top, we got a IV rank of 45. So, any IV rank outside of ETFs. Sometimes I'll do I'll sell premium in ETFs and the IV rank won't be over 30 because you don't get IVRs over 30 a lot and stuff like the SPY, the QQQ or the IWM. You have them right now. You actually have it right now, but you generally don't have that. So I'll look for equities to do, stuff in. And so I'll put another iron condor on. Last week I did an iron condor in GLD. We'll check on that after this. So basically we'll pull up I'm in Dece still, 29 days, and you can see where I'm at. So the market has moved a little bit from where I placed it. So right now you can see on the put side, you can see my short strike. I did a strangle. Now, generally with an iron condor, it's defined risk. So an iron condor, like I did last week, would be me selling. Let's say I sold the 14 and then maybe bought the 9 strike and then maybe sell the 24 and buy the 29 or something like that. So there, I'm selling and buying on both sides, right? Now, strangle, like what I just sold the call. So I have a short call at 28 and then I got a short put at 17. Now the market moved when I did this. This was out of the money, and this was out of the money, which it still is. So the market has moved some. Now we're right around what 1869. My short strike is 17. Now I may have to do some. I may have to maybe roll down the untested side tomorrow. We'll see what continues to happen. I don't think that this will continue to go down. Right, I expect to see some support right here around 18, which is why made my short put strike right at 17. Now, I could be wrong, so we'll see. About basically, I expect to see some support right in here, right at 18. We're at 1870 now, so I expect to see some support right around there. But we'll see. Now with that strangle, I just want to see the market stay within these strikes, or I could have volatility collapse, right? I will see the IV rank come in some, maybe the IV rank go from 45 to 30, some vol come out. I'm expecting vol probably to expand tomorrow a little bit because I think the video is going to take that low out, but we'll see. There are ways for me to defend the trade. And if I have to defend it, like I said, I'll roll the call side down and maybe readjust my strikes. We'll see. I may be able to roll the call side down to maybe the 20, maybe about the 20, 20, maybe roll this 13 delta down to a 22 delta and then pick up some more credits. So we'll see. Now let's go back to the chart. We'll go over last week's trade in GLD. That iron condor is performing great. It isn't moving. It's just staying right here, which is what we want. We go right here and look at, we can see here's on the call side. I have this call spread over here. See, I'm short the 408, long the 413. You see over here on the put side, short 353, long the 348. So you can see we still, if I go to the analysis tab, let's see if we can. You can see right here. Wonder why it's not showing red and green. Give me just a second. It should be showing something else on here. It's not showing. It should be red and green in there. I don't know if it's because I'm after hours or not, but you can see here's the call spread. Here's the put spread on that side. And we just want to see the market stay in between. Generally, it would show, but it's not showing it for some reason. I don't know why it's not showing the actual colors in there. But either way, you can see on the screen, you can see the spreads on each side. Now, what I wanted to talk about, I want to go over the SPX We can see we are outside of the range of here's the expected move for the week. We are outside of it. We closed outside of the expected move. Now, probably the higher probability trade would say, or when you're looking at probabilities, you generally end up inside of the expected move by the end of the week. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow tomorrow we ended back closed back up in here. However, when you do get outside of it, a lot of times you get huge moves. So if we see NVDA, I think NVIDIA is going to go lower. We could see the SPX break even a little bit lower tomorrow. And there won't be anywhere to hide. There won't be, once, I don't think retail can keep coming in and getting stepped on. I was looking at CNBC. They said they were saying that retail was coming in buying the dips. There's no dip right now that I would buy. Right, looking at this, if you're looking, this is a cliff. This is a cliff, and there's absolutely nothing like right here below this level right here. If I would, there's nothing below this. There's nothing. There's no real support below this level right here. Just just using technical analysis, there's no you might get some support maybe down here at I see a gap down here at let's call it at 6,000, maybe 6,100, 60,000 at excuse me, 6,050, somewhere right around in there. I'll go ahead and put a, draw. This is where I see like real support way down here. And I'll go back to show you why another reason, maybe I don't remember what video it was recently at IWM. I talked about the harmonic pattern in here. I've been talking about it, signaling a change in direction of the market. IWM, I got a Fibonacci extension level. Like it hit the 618 right here, bounced. Hit the 100, bounced. It came down here and closed today beyond the 1618. It did not bounce. It just you just got a big long red candlestick that did not. It ran through it like it's not even like it wasn't even there. The next level down is right around, we'll call it 220, 219. If tomorrow continues to go lower, it can get real ugly over the next week or so. Now I can see you have some support right here because here's a gap. So right around, we could see some support right around, I would say 227. And even then, you may just get like maybe a doji candle or something here. And then maybe next week you may get something in here. And then it just take off again. So I will be real careful about dip buying. That's just me. The way I'll play this market, I'm showing you I'm selling premium. Iron condors and strangles. Now, the strangle that I sold in SMR, I'm gonna pull that back up. It's not an expensive stock. Let's see. Was it my computer cranking? I can hear it. Like I'm using a lot of juice right now, just hanging there. SMR is an $19, $18 stock. That's why I sold the strangle and I didn't do an iron condor. Worst case scenario, which won't happen because I'm not gonna say it won't happen. Chances are very low of me getting put the shares. I will roll or move this around before I get put shares. But if I do, I'm getting put the shares at a low around, 16, 17, $15, right? And then at that point, all I'm gonna do is turn and sell calls against the shares that I own. So it's a cheap stock for me to do that strangle in. Larger accounts, larger stocks like GLD, which is a $374 stock. I'm doing iron condors in. Iron condors, strangles, maybe If you want to try to get long, I wouldn't get long by buying stock. If I was going to get long, I would get long by selling puts. So let's just say I did want to get long Nvidia. How would I play that? If I were going to get long Nvidia, I'm not. Let's say I wanted to get long somewhere after it breaks this low and it gets around, because you it realistically we could get a bounce at this level right here, access support, and get a nice bounce, and you can make money just off of the bounce. I will be selling puts as opposed to buying stock. Now, if you were to buy 100 shares of $180 stock, if I go over here, come up here and hit the buy button, put this on 100 shares, it's gonna margin me $9,000, right? Now, and that's on Tasty Trade. It's gonna margin me $9,000. Now, if I wanted to just play the bounce, I could sell this put. I could come way out here. One thing about selling the put, IV rank expanded in the video today as the sell off, as it started to sell off, the IV rank went higher. So that means that the expected move went wider and options got to be more expensive. So instead of buying them, I could come out here and sell maybe I could come out one standard deviation and maybe sell the 150 put. I could still take in $2, $211 on that put. And instead of being margin 9 grand, I'm only margin 3 grand. I got an 88% probability of profit. I got a 90% chance of making half of this just by selling the put. And my short strike is at 150. So basically your short strike, when I say 150, you way down here at 150. So that's how I would play getting long if I'm going to get long in the video. You either sell that put. Now, if you don't want to be margin that whole amount, maybe you come out here and maybe sell the 160, buy the 150. Maybe you do a $10 wide put spread, playing that bounce. If you think you're going to get this bounce right here, this going to act as support at 167, sell to 167, or I say sell to 166, buy to 156, take in 204. You still got a 71% probability of profit, 80% P50. That's keeping half of this. So these are different ways you can, if you want to be delta neutral, you maybe sell the expected move, sell to 160, buy to 150. May come out here and sell the 210, buy the 220, and do an iron condor. You can do it that way. That's basically delta neutral. Now all you're saying at that point is that the market will stay within this range. This is how I will play this market right now. There's no way I wouldn't do it with your money. I wouldn't buy this market with somebody else's money. Now, what I have heard is this, which makes sense. I was watching CNBC and they had I can't remember it name right on the top of my tongue. It'll come up in a minute. But he was one of the pundits was on, and he was talking about one of the reasons why the market was selling off was because of Bitcoin, which is possible. Bitcoin is getting hammered right now. I got levels on Bitcoin too. Bitcoin going lower. It's going lower. I hate to disappoint you guys, but I got fib levels on it, and I think that the next level that I see that I think it can get to is right around 80,000. I think it's gonna get to 80, and you may get some support at 80. It's possible. If it breaks 80, if it breaks 80, then it's going to 58,000. Now, I'm not saying, I just said if it breaks 80. I'm confident in my opinion that it'll get to 80. The thing is, You don't have you can't really short spot Bitcoin. Now, you can short Bitcoin futures. I'm going to show you guys, walk through this. I could come in Bitcoin futures. Here I am in Bitcoin futures. Now, if I wanted to come to the option market, I can come in here and I can trade. Take this off. I can come in here and maybe go 36 days and I can trade in here. Now, if you're looking at this, what do you see? Let's do volume. So I got open interest and I got volume over here. If you're looking at this, there's nothing over here in volume. There's nothing. There's nothing in volume. You look at open interest, what do you see? You got 11 contracts here. 4. There's no liquidity in the futures market. Let's go to micro Bitcoin. So you can go to MBT. So these are the micros. So if I came into micros and let's say I wanted, now the micros have a little bit more, but you still, if you don't see thousands of contracts and these markets are super wide, you can drive a truck through these markets, how wide they are. There's no liquidity here, meaning you're going to get filled at, you're going to get bad fills. You're going to lose money getting into the trade, and more than likely you're going to lose money getting out of the trade. So what I'm showing you, is hard to short Bitcoin in the US, and you got to be, it's not a lot of firms that can do it, and it's not a lot of places where you can go do it. You can do it in some like, you can't do it in Tasty Trade other than futures. You can't trade, like, you can't short spot Bitcoin in Tasty Trade. I don't even know if you can do it in Schwab. I know you can do, like, you can do futures, but I don't think you can't short spot Bitcoin in Schwab. I don't think you can do it in Fidelity. It's very limited. As, like, I could pull up Euro USD and spot Forex and I could short the euro. You know, I could I could buy USD JP US the US dollar yen trade. I could buy that. I can trade the spot price. You can't trade the spot price. So therefore, you don't have the liquidity there. So you're not getting short covering. So if I go to, I'm looking at the S&P 500s, right? This is the futures market. This is the SPOOs, S&P 500 futures. Now watch this. I'm gonna take off. I want to hide the indicators. I'm gonna hide the drawings. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this on a 1 minute chart. I want to show you guys something. Go to 1 day. I just want to show today. So we're gonna go. This was this morning at 9. Let's see, 9 a.m. You come here and then look at the market from right around, we'll call it 10:43. Start seeing down ticks. Now look at it. That's a huge move. Now these are futures. Each one of these ticks, I believe, is, I had to go look it up. I don't want to be wrong. It's a lot of money. Put it like that. And so we're looking at the futures market coming down, right? Now, anytime you see this right here, this is short covering. That's all that is. That's not really it. That's not really buyers coming in. You'd see a more of a move. This is short covering. So basically, you got some firms that are that shorted this, right, to in order to get the market. So basically, they're long, and instead of selling their long positions, they short the S&P 500 to kind of like hedge their portfolio, and then cover the shorts right here. And then you look over here, look here, you're gonna see it again at the end of the day. So here you go, right around 3:45, 4, and then you see it just kind of all the volume taper off here. So you're not gonna have that in Bitcoin because you can't short. You can't short the spot. You can't short the spot price. So what's going on is, instead of shorting spot Bitcoin, you want to know what they are shorting? MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a way of shorting Bitcoin. So you can come in MicroStrategy because the guy's Michael Saylor talks about his strategy, which is just to keep buying Bitcoin. He talks about it all the time, so you know what he's doing. Look at this chart. It's been getting killed. So if you own, let's say you own spot Bitcoin, and then since you can't just come in here and just sell the spot price of Bitcoin, but you can come in here and you can sell MicroStrategy. You can come right up here and just hit the sell button and sell 100 shares of MicroStrategy and only get margin, uh, almost, let's call it 9 grand. You can get short Bitcoin by doing that. So that's what I think is going on in the market. And that's why I think, because you can even just, that's a look, it was up at 450 right here. It's all the way down at 177. I don't even know how he can keep this fund open at this point with that type of sell-off. So the next thing, the next lever to break is if Bitcoin continues. So think about it like this. Bitcoin chart looks like, looking at Bitcoin. Let's go look at MicroStrategy again. Chart looks similar, right? But Bitcoin is only off. Its high was 124, 124,000, right up around the area, 126. So it's down to what, 87. So that's a what, about 30%, 35% off of its highs. MicroStrategy is off of this high right here, right around 450. It's down to 177. That's over 50% just whacked, just just destroyed. So if I'm willing to bet, I am gonna bet. I am betting. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to bet. I am betting that this will continue. And if this continues, if I had money in this fund, I'm not gonna say what I would do. But just because I don't want to put certain stuff out there. The gig is gonna be up in a little while. He can't. I don't think that fund can withstand this if it keeps going on. Then what starts happening is you'll see some companies start looking for a bailout. If you start seeing hearing some rumblings about some visits to the White House or the Mar-a-Lago, you're gonna start seeing people looking for bailouts. This is, in my opinion, what I think, and we'll start because from what I understand, his strategy is to just buy Bitcoin. Somebody can put in the comments, if you know something else that he's doing over there, besides levering up on Bitcoin, then let me know. I don't know a whole lot about it. That's just passing. I'm mainly like a chart guy, so that's that. Hey guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Hit the like button. I'm gonna try to do like a trade a week. Try to keep something out there. I'll chop this video up and then I'll just show the trade portion of SMR and put that out there too. And we'll continue to watch. We got the GLD trade on, we got the SMR trade on. I do have the put on in the video. I may try to come on tomorrow at the end of the market and take you into the close, especially if that thing is thanging like I think it's gonna be. Remember, I'm calling it right now. If it breaks out, takes this, if NVIDIA takes this low out, look out below. It'll take the whole market with it. If it took the whole market up with those earnings yesterday, it's gonna take the whole market with it down, because the majority of the S&P 500 is made up by 6 or 7 stocks anyway. Meta already been taken out. Look at that. Meta already been taken out, which it can go lower, but you already got a nice um, slacking on Meta. The next Amazon is down a little bit, but not down as far as it can go. I'm gonna talk about. I just seen something in Amazon. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow's video. I just see something in the chart that I just noticed. Google looks good, but at some point, once the selling starts, then everybody gets hit. Everybody gets hit. You won't even hold. They won't be able to hold this one because you'll have to sell. You're gonna have to sell some of your winners to when the margin calls come, then you got to start selling some of the other stuff. So everything gets whacked. And then you'll start seeing them coming into you'll see them coming into the futures market, and then they'll hedge with this and they'll just whack this. And then it just be, and at that point, everything's getting whacked. I'm kind of excited. If I sound excited, I am. This is the best time to, in my opinion, it's exciting. It's the best time to trade. Like if you're a trader, like you can put all you can use um all of your tools during times like this. When the market's just drifting up like this, you either just gotta buy the stock and just hold on to it and just hope that it go up. Ain't a lot you can do. There's no volatility. So you just buy it. If you're not a trader and you're just a long term investor or whatnot, then that's cool for you. But these times right here is when it gets exciting. When it starts dropping and you start getting these huge moves, you can do whatever. You can just start selling calls. You can start whacking stuff, and that's pretty much, that keeps it exciting. So that make sure tune into the channel. Let me know what you want to see. Give me a stock or something that you're looking at, that you're thinking about. I'll come on here and chart it up. That being said, guys, I am out. Peace.